Another useful feature that you'll find in Microsoft Excel when you go to output your work are headers and footers. Headers and footers in Microsoft Excel work almost exactly the way they do in other applications, but there are some presets that they offer that make them speedy and very useful. You can access that from the View menu, Headers and Footers. You can expand that if you don't see them. And that'll take you to a specific tab in the Page Setup dialog, which we'll talk about next. Here you have your header drop-down list, where you could put on a page 1 or page 1 of. You could also put the title of this sheet if it had one. You can also put information about the author, etc. There are many presets here. The same presets exist as a footer. So whereas you might want to put a title up in the header, you can quickly choose your page 1 of text for the footer information. Here, where you define your custom header and footer, it allows you to build your own and insert any text that you wish. For example, let's build a custom footer. You'll notice in this dialog box that we have 3 distinct sections that we can work in. This box, anything we add to it will be left justified. Here, it'll be centered. And over here, it'll be right justified. Since my insertion cursor is sitting in the left section, I can insert a piece of text, or I can insert the current page number. I can insert the page of indicator. Let's build one very quickly here. This is page space, and then I'll insert the code that will properly label this page based on its current page number. Of space, and that's the code that will properly put in the total number of pages in our printed document. On the right-hand section, just move my insertion point there, we may want to put the current date and time, which is what these 2 stamps represent. Notice that they're functions and that they're going to be inserted based on the current date and time. Now what I've just inserted will place those 2 right together. So I'm going to go back, add a comma and a space, and let's take a look at our header and footer. Here they show you a sample of what you've just built. This is page 1 of 1, and the current date and time. Also found here in the Page Setup dialog box are your margins. This allows you to adjust the spacing from the defaults for the left, right, top, and bottom of your sheet. We also have our Page Setup. This is where you can set your orientation, portrait or landscape. You can also adjust your document to fit. In this case, it will scale the printed material down to fit on your 8.5 by 11 sheet. Or you can ask it to fit over a number of pages. Here you can set the width of the number of pages and the height of the number of pages. For example, this movie list, I may want to fit it on a single page for width and allow it to flow over as many pages as it needs to. Again, you'll see you can access your print preview options or print right from this dialog once you have it set up. And let's cancel out of this dialog box. And that's a good overview of printing inside of Microsoft Excel. You'll find that when you have a large job in front of you, those tools will allow you to set up your print job to look as professional as possible.